So hello guys, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about globalization and international business. So the thing we are going to study is about globalization, international business, glocalization, types or forms of globalization, factors affecting globalization, reasons for international business expansion, drivers of market globalization, advantage, disadvantage of globalization. So, globalization, it is the process by which business or organization develops international influence or start operating on an international scale is known as globalization. So, the tendency of investment funds or business to move beyond the domestic or national market to other market around the globe is known as globalization. Now is international business. It is the exchange of goods and services among individual and business in multiple countries. So a specific entity such as multinational corporation or international business company that engages in business among multiple countries, a commercial transaction across country border is known as international business. For example, a company sells its product in United States, Japan, and Asian countries, etc. Now we have globalization. So successful global marketers must have ability to think globally and act locally. It is ability to be as much of an insider as local company, but still reap the benefit that results from world scale production. Types or forms of globalization. So first we have economic globalization, which considers about liberalization, deregulation, privatization, communication, forex. Next is political globalization, which includes billing, policies, plan, exchange views, legal system, rights of citizens. Next we have socio-cultural globalization, which considers cultural values, beliefs, custom, media, tourism. For example, like Valentine's in Nepal has been a part of socio-cultural globalization. Now we have natural globalization, which considers about global warming, ozone layer depletion, loss of diversity, pollution, exploitation of resources. Next we have technological globalization, which is considered with ICET, which stands for information communication and entertainment technology. Coming towards the factors affecting the globalization, first we have expansion of technology. So advanced expansion in infotech, communication and transportation has the result of globalization. There is increased flow of ideas and information across the border. The knowledge of every nation would grow and customer learn about foreign products and services. Next we have liberalization and cross-border trade, where countries with the liberalization have free trade of finished goods plus resources exchange. It is removing the barriers, causing international trade and resources becoming movement that increase market to other countries too. Now we have a cost concern. So firms have goal of achieving the economies of scale to reduce the unit cost production. It is the way to reduce the development, production and inventory cost. So firm can locate their production plant where the cost of production is very low. Next we have a rise in competition. So globalization imposes a rise in competition from the foreign brands and companies. Industries are compelled to improve standard and quality for customer satisfaction when domestic businesses meet standard at international level. Business goes internationally. Next we have growing consumer pressure. So consumer build pressure on the firm to supply more new and better product. So firms have to supply the goods as per demanded by the customer. Firm do not limit themselves to their domestic market, so they go global to reach out demanding buyers in foreign market. Now we have reasons for international business expansion. So first there is taking comparative and competitive advantage of business. So what happens here is that firms expand business internationally to take comparative and competitive advantage. According to the comparative cost theory of international trade of David Ricardo, gain from trade will occur even in a country that has absolute advantage in all products, because the country must sacrifice less efficient output for more efficient output. So when it produces more efficient product, it sells to the country that have no comparative advantage in particular product. Competitive advantage theory shows how a country and its firm gain competitive advantage. Next we have matching with consumer pressures. So in most part of the world, people's affluence has increased. It has increased the pressure on the companies to do more on research and development and internet. All these things are done to satisfy demanding consumers. Consequently, companies go global to serve this market by expanding business. Next is benefiting from international product life cycle. So what happens is here that a product passing through its death stage of product life cycle in one market need not to die in another market. So unwillingness of the farm to write off its productive assets may force them to go international market. Next we have managing and escaping competition. So firms choose to globalize their market for two competition related reasons. First, to avoid tough competition in the domestic market. Next is to exploit the competitive potential in international market. So firms have explored a new foreign market to sell their product as there is tougher competition in domestic market. Next we have adjusting excess capacity. So it is economic basis that forces firms to locate international market to sell their surplus products so as to utilize the excess capacity. Practically, firms undertake foreign business to minimize their fixed cost per unit. Next is gaining higher profit margin. So government of various countries provide support and incentive to promote international business and trade, like tax-free export income. So it is push factor for the firm to go in international market, which contributes to enlargement of their profit margin. Now we have drivers of globalization, which means they are the initiator. So first is crisis in capitalism. Capitalist model is emphasized on capital and production. Overproduction creates crisis of not getting the goods sold in the market, so they expand themselves to oversee market. Capitalism emphasizes on over-accumulation of capital. They face crisis on where to use capital in optimum way so that they go global. Next is technological advantage. So technology have connected one market with other market at global. New technologies have made production and operation efficient and cheaper. Efficient and low cost transport have made economical to get the goods from one place to another. Transportation technology, which is high speed travel and efficient transportation, has enabled transportation service helping people to move efficient and quickly. Transport and media have increased the pace of globalization. Next we have competition. So the globalization imposes a rise in competition from the foreign brand and companies in order to avoid domestic competition and to exploit the competitive potential in international market. So the industries are compelled to improve their standard and quality for the customer satisfaction. When the domestic business meets the standard at international level, business goes internationally. Next we have comparative and competitive advantage. So over here firms expand their business internationally to take comparative and competitive advantage according to comparative cost theory of international trade of David Ricardo. Gain from trade will occur even in a country that has absolute advantage in all the products, because the country must sacrifice less efficient output for more efficient output. When it produces more efficient product, it sells to the country that have no comparative advantage in particular product. So competitive theory shows how a country and its firm gain competitive advantage. Next is it increase in the market size and geographic diversification. So a company starts operation in two or more countries, it is said to be globalized. If home country market is saturated, it will go to the foreign market where they can find potential consumer and enhance their market. As market grow cross-border, it leads to globalization of market. Next is political trend towards regional economic bloc. So after 1990s, there is a trend of socialization of global community and integration. Nepal is integrated with SAFTA and BIMSTEC. Such a group bind together several nations into a trade community offering significant market. It can remove or reduce the trade barriers to promote trade activities and cross-border. Growing consumer pressure in most part of the world, most affluent has increased. It has increased pressure on the companies to do more research and development and internet. All these things are done to satisfy demanding consumers. Consequently, companies goes global to serve this market and expand their business. And now advantage and disadvantages of globalization. Talking about the advantage, it enhances productivity. There is transfer of technology, capital and management. There is increase in employment opportunity. It promotes industrialized economies and it increases trade, export and import. Disadvantages of globalization are: it is threat to socio-cultural values of a country, it is threat to national sovereignty, it results to insecurity in jobs and income source, there is environmental degradation and unfair competition as there is monopolies of MNCs. So to be continued, we will study about the international business. Dimensions of international business, characteristics, international business versus domestic business, and the components of international business, which includes international trade and international investment in coming videos. So make sure you like, comment, subscribe. You guys are amazing. Keep reading.